I'm Ereme Abraham. Some people know me as TWYSE. I'm from Edo State. I'm a Nigerian. My mom is Yoruba. My dad is from Edo. And that's where I get the Yoruba vibe that you get in my videos. I grew up in Ibadan. You don't need to know my school because I don't really like school like that. But yeah. First of all, I dealt with the fact that nobody, apart from the fact that nobody liked what I was doing, nobody wanted me to do what I was doing. So, and I don't really say this often, but my mom actually took me for deliverance because she felt like I could be doing more with my life, you know. Because I studied different things and I just realized overall that my interest wasn't what I'm doing right now. So I studied law at some point. I did other courses, you know. I did graphic design and stuff like that, but I wasn't allowed to go anywhere near theater. I've always been, I won't really say discouraged because I'm stubborn too. So I had to like change where I was. I had to change my location, everything, and just work on myself. Yeah, so I had to break down at the point in time, and it was messy. It was messy, and that's why when I still hear and see some people make fun of that incident, but I'm just like, oh, they like this person is an idiot. But yeah, like all you go through is sadness. You don't really understand depression. Like there's sadness and there's depression. You not having money, you being broke, you're sad. You get, but there's some times where some things really hit you and let me give you an example of depression now. Waking up every morning feeling like you can't achieve anything, you can't be anything great in life. That maybe your only job is to be behind the TV, just watching celebs and whatever. That's a kind of mental, you know, problem. And it might end up leading to depression, you know, having that low self-esteem. You don't have any self-worth, like you just feel like you're useless, you know. And I feel like it's worse than not having money or worse than not having a girlfriend or things like that. Those things, there's a solution to them, like an immediate solution. But when it comes to like depressed moments and stuff like that, it's a struggle. It's a serious struggle. And yeah, so the time when this happened it was when I started doing my daddy Toby, mommy Toby, and I think Taufik was already there as well. I'm not sure. So the funny thing is, my brother might not like this, but the funny thing is, I and my brother, we used to share a room in a flat of like, there were like 3 rooms in the whole flat. And I think there were 5 residents living there. Then I and my brother, we used to share a room. So in the whole house, we're like, let's say 6 or 7. Yeah, or 5, I can't remember. But anyway, the point is, we used to share the same room. And that's where I used to record my skits back then in the room. I'll just tell him to lie down on the bed, or if he wants to take an excuse, we'll just go outside and I'll record, then join it together. So what really happened was the fact that there was a time he was really sick, and that took some of our money away. Then while we were working, it was like we were working and there was no, I don't know how to say it, there was nothing to show for it. So we get our money, we do overtime sometimes, and it got so messy. We're just empty. We're even owing people because of hospital bill and stuff like that. So at that point in time, I was coming back from work one day and I didn't have money to like board a bus or transport, anything. And this distance, I'm talking about, I don't really know mainland like that, but it's like from Admiralty to like Songotedo. And I had to just trek for that whole night. I trekked for like 3 hours. And trust me, I'm a fast trekker when I decide to. And I was listening to music and stuff. So I kept trekking. And when I got home, I was so exhausted. And the painful part was the money I was going to get as my salary, I was supposed to use it like pay hospital bills. So there was nothing left. The next day, our landlord came in, said we need to move out. He actually gave us 2 weeks extra grace because we're trying to pay up. So he said we should move out. Then as I said we should move out, I was so stressed. Like I didn't even know what to do at first. And that was when I started falling sick more often. We're not really eating. Sometimes we'll go and beg our neighbors for rice. Then we'll cook it, then mix it with, we'll sprinkle maggi or salt inside. Stir it, use oil, we'll eat it. Sometimes if it's gari, we'll drink the gari. Buy biscuit and eat it with the gari. Biscuit was like our own sugar then, because there was no even money to buy sugar and shit like that. So it kept happening. Then I decided to go and look for another job that can pay, you know, more money so we can pay our bills and get a new place. Then I think my first week of starting the job, I had food poisoning. I don't know how come. I started throwing up. I was sick. Then For like 3 days, I couldn't just go to work. I was just, everything that came into my stomach was coming out immediately. So my work, whatever, they thought I wasn't serious, and obviously I look very unserious. So, so they told me that they sacked me from the job. They didn't pay me nothing. So I was back on the street again. Like I didn't have a dime. Like, everything was just stressing me, you know. I'll call some family members, they would tell me trash. And mind you, before I even got to this stage, I will never skip this story, even though I'm not supposed to say it, but it's very annoying. I used to live with one of my aunts then, until I decided to go and look for a job. Then, you know, they chased me out of the house and I slept on the road for like 2 days. When I mean road, I mean I slept from buses to buses. I'll sleep like 2 hours in this bus. If the bus starts and say they want to start moving, I'll sleep in another bus and stuff like that. So I did that for like 2 days till I spoke with one of my classmates in school then. Then he introduced me to some people that I was living with before we even got to this stage. So everything wasn't making sense to me at that point because I was working, I was making efforts, nothing was coming. In fact, I was losing everything, if that was something. And mind you, our landlord has chased us out, so we were living in my brother's car, which he eventually sold anyways. We were living in my brother's car, we'll go out at night to shower when nobody's seeing us, we come back in there. There was serious cold, so we had to even turn on the heater, we'll go and buy fuel, borrow money, buy fuel, buy like, I don't know, whatever can sustain us for that night, and we'll move on. Sometimes we just use our blanket and our luggages to like keep us warm and stuff. So that part, it went on for a while. So this day when I said I had food poisoning and everything, they sacked me. I was hopeless. There was nothing else I could do. So I think I went back home. Then my brother's car was not there again. I think we could not afford to pay tax or something. They've towed the car. It had some of our things inside too that were gone. And from there I was like, what's left? Like, there's nothing left. None of my friends or families are reaching out. Like, it was just messed up. So what I decided to do that day, I told myself, I said, okay, there's no way out. Like, and I've always not wanted to stress my mom because it was money issue that made my aunt chase me out, you know, when I could have literally been there. And I'm trying to work. He said I can't work, so what's the problem? Anyway, I decided I'm just going to take my life. So I went back home. I told my bro I was coming. Then I went on Twitter. I just said a few things because in my mind, I knew I was going to die. Like, I just had it planned already. So I said a few things and I went off my phone and I was just looking for how to just kill myself. I was thinking of different ways to just kill myself. So I thought about the London Bridge at that point in time. And I was going there. When I got there, I was just entering shuttle to shuttle. There's this oyster we had then. I still had top up on it. So I shuttled from places to places there. And I went to London. When I got there, I realized that it was a very busy area. If I decided to jump, someone might stop me or someone might catch me, or if I jump, they might come and rescue me and it's going to become something more serious than that. So I said, okay, I was going to go to town, like the express, where cars are just, you know, boom, boom. So once I get on the road in front of a car, it just hits me. I don't have to think of anything. So I went back home to go and ask my neighbor for money to take me to the express where I can just, you know, cross and just get my life off. So when I went back home, on my way back home, I think I was 10 minutes away from the house. My bro called me and said police have surrounded the whole house and everything. Apparently, I think some celebs were, when they saw my tweets, they were saying some things out there. Fowls was sending out my pictures. Some other celebs, Tonya Imako and a few people, and Kaponeski, they just sent out details there, Sha. So apparently police vans, ambulance, whatever, they were already where my brother's car was and everything. And he told me that they already handcuffed him because they felt like he had something to do with the whole situation. They were going to go and investigate and blah, blah, blah. So at that point in time, they said they were not going to release him until they see me. So I felt like that was the only reason why I showed up. If not, I would have just begged for arms on the way and still go to that express. So what I was just thinking of is that I've suffered with this guy. Like, he's my friend. I call him my bro. I've suffered with this guy. We've gone through a lot. I can't let the police take him for what he hasn't done, you know, and stuff like that. So my own plan was just go there and tell them this thing was my plan. He had nothing to do with it, you get. So by the time I got back there, everything was calm. They asked me a few questions. They said they wanted to help me, like take me for some orientation and whatever. I said no. And you know, and they asked me, am I sure I'm not going to do this again? I said I won't do it again. They said if I have to do that, if I feel like doing that, I should I should call a line and stuff like that and whatever. So by this time, my phone was blowing up. I don't even know how people got my number. Everyone was just calling me, messaging. My mom was calling. And my mom called me. I knew things were very tough for us that time because one of my stupid stepdads had already cleared my mom's property and everything overnight. So I knew things were really rough for my mom, but I was frustrated. So I spoke with her on the phone and I said, I don't want anybody to call me. I don't want to hear from any family member, anything. Because they were not there up until this time that I wanted to kill myself. There was a woman, I think, I'm trying to remember her name, Pastor Mrs. something. She sent me £100 that day. That was equivalent to like 30K back then. So I'm forever grateful to that woman. And I don't care what anyone says. She can't be wrong in my eyes. Anyways, that was how I and my bro, we got back on our feet. We started looking for jobs again. And, you know, things just got better. Then, there was one of my classmates then. His name is K. He later on turned out to be my manager, even though things didn't really work out well. But he told us to come and stay. He told us to come and stay with him for like a few months or weeks till I get my shit together. And I said I wasn't going to do skit again because I didn't find the purpose, you know. But anyways, he encouraged me and I was like, I need to come back to this thing. Some people are going through what I'm going through and it's because of what I'm doing that they are still alive, blah, blah, blah. Then I came back and started doing skit. And surprisingly, I've grown tough skin since then. I don't really care about what people say and stuff. And if I reply you, I just want to reply you. But normally, I won't even have your time. I don't care if I'm famous or anything. I just want to have things like peace of mind, you know, be able to travel where there's no phone, there's no coverage. Just chill. Enjoy the water, the breeze, fresh air, the birds, you know, things like that.
If you find yourself thinking, I'm a failure, knowing how to deal with failure in a healthy way takes away some fear out of it.
What has been my greatest life challenge was when I lost my dad.
I was confused. I just wanted to do something.